Where are you guys right now?
We're at our house in we got a little drum room studio going. It's a work in progress. Hoping,
Where's that in Baltimore?
yeah,
Yep, in Baltimore. Yep.
Nice. Where did the name Mallow Hill come from? Am I saying it right? Mallow?
yeah,
Mallow?
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. We always get Mallow or Mallow, but
Yeah.
Mallow's right. Yeah.
It was a street, right?
Yeah. It's the just kind of the street that I've always lived on, and my parents grew up on, or my mom grew up on, and I learned how to play guitar on, and I've always sort of had this like location there where people came and played music. So a couple years ago, I got the idea to do a band, and we were like, let's just call it Mallow Hill, because that way, at least if no one can find the place, where we live.
Very cool. How did you guys get together? Who found who first? Or did you guys grow up together or
the they all the boys all kind of they've all kind of known each other. I mean, like him and Chris, our bass player, have been playing together since they were kids, and I mean they're all from the same area. But I met our keyboard player out at a bar like years ago, and I mean a couple years passed and he just kind of was like, hey, you want to come over and try this out, and here we are,
Yeah, I've known, I mean, everyone in the band for years, and Michaela and I only met each other through the band. So basically, we had like all these pieces put together, and we were like looking for singers, and we had a couple of names that we were going through, and Mac, the keyboard player, was like, I met this girl like like 3 or 4 years ago, and I just remember she could really sing, and he like tracked down and found her phone number, and friend of a friend, and
yeah, it was COVID.
that's how we met Michaela.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was COVID, and like, I mean, right before everything shut down, I signed a lease to live at the beach, to like, almost 3 hours from here, and I just ended up driving here every weekend to hang out with a bunch of these weird guys. All my friends were like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm in a band." Don't
Yeah.
worry.
Michaela, your vocals remind me of Al King's.
I've gotten that before. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, totally on point. And what influences do you draw from vocally?
Um, I think as of where I am now, I oddly enough, vocal performance wise, I think I'd have to say Robert Plant is probably like
Really?
my main guy. Yeah, I just really like his style. He's super energetic. He's super himself. I mean, I don't really think many people sound like him. I don't think I sound like him, but when it comes to just kind of singing every, I don't, every single song with all your might is kind of my like, kind of my deal. I love Amy Winehouse. I mean, there's
Oh
a,
yeah.
yeah, she's more of my, I mean, I love the way she sings, but I'm not a jazz singer by any means. But, when it comes to like writing and performing and being an artist, she's one of my favorites too. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Um, you guys are obviously from Baltimore. What's the scene like there? What's the music scene like?
It's a
There's a music scene.
yeah.
There's a lot of great players, and we have a lot of friends around here that are like doing the damn thing. It's a little like, um we don't really fit in great because there's a big like indie kind of alternative like hardcore scene, which is great. I mean, it's great that it's keeping the music alive around here, but we're kind of doing something different. So
Oh yeah, definitely,
yeah.
definitely.
But yeah, I mean,
It's
it's
happening. It's
happening.
happening more than I guess people would think it is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
there's, I mean, there's that scene, but there's definitely there's a lot of stuff. You can find some good blues acts, and
Hmm.
there's a lot of tribute bands that are all great. I mean, but as far as original stuff goes, I think there's more people doing it every day. I mean, it seems
Yeah,
like
Annapolis is kind of
in this area. Yeah.
popping off when it comes. And there's a lot of like decent, really decent singer songwriters and bands coming out of there right now too.
Yeah. A couple of friends, doing the touring circuit and that kind of thing. So it's, I think it's, at least from where we started, it feels like it's blossoming.
Yeah,
Especially after COVID and all that. I feel like there was a big sort of like, I don't know, maybe veteran musicians like kind of like breaking out of that. And
yeah, with the Renaissance.
yeah, just kind of seemed like everyone came out at once and was like, let's play some music.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You mentioned the blues, and you guys obviously play the blues. Why? What is it about the blues that is gaining traction nowadays? Like with the Black Keys and I think it can like Jack White does a little bluesy thing too, So what do you think about the blues in general, and why is it making such a comeback?
Maybe because I don't know, maybe because of how saturated the industry has become with like the same shit.
Mhm.
Maybe I don't know, not like I don't know. That's a really good question because I do see it like kind of coming up again recently. Obviously, it's the blues. Obviously, it's always been around and has influenced so much other music. But like, I think people are getting, they want to hear some real music again. I think. I mean, I hope anyway. We work out for us.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, it's a good question. Because to me, I've like always paid attention to, I mean, like someone like the Black Keys, even when they were like not really the Black Keys yet, or just finding like those little artists just doing cool things. But um, I don't know. It's a pretty flexible genre too. I mean, you could be like totally like playing like the 12 bar like to the T kind of thing, or you could just kind of be like rocking out with like a couple of chords and loud drums, and like that can also be called blues.
Yeah, there's a lot of blues influenced
Yeah,
music too.
but yeah, I don't know, I love it. I think it's nice to hear a little bit taste of that and everything, and we definitely try to put that into our stuff. And um, yeah,
Yeah.
The band is comprised of some great musicians, including backup players for the Black Keys. Is that not
Um,
true?
our friend Ray played on our record when we recorded it in Nashville. He's not in our band, but he works in Nashville. He's living there, hanging out in his free time when he's not touring. So he's friends with Dex Green, who is our friend and produced our record. So Dex was like, Ray's hanging out. If you want to come over, we were like, hell yeah, I want Ray to come over.
That's very cool. Yeah, along with Jack White and Brandy Carlisle, you guys worked with artists who worked with them, is that correct?
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, Meg
yeah.
Coleman. Meg Coleman played drums on half of our record. We had two different drummers that played. Um, what's Tommy's last name? I always
I know I don't want to say it out loud.
forget.
Our friend Tommy.
Our friend Tommy's from Finland, and we can't say his last name because we're horrible.
But he, also
Also a
great
killer
hang,
drummer, great hang. But
and then LJ, Jack Lawrence, he's in like Dead Weather and Racket Tours, and
yeah, he's like Jack White's guy.
he's a good pal at Dex's. So yeah, I mean Dex kind of compiled this cast of characters, and yeah, the only thing that was different was because we did the record in two trips, commuting to Nashville. But the only thing that was different in the lineup was drummers. Other than that, we were lucky to have LJ and Ray. Well, Ray did some sprinkling on some sauce after the second time we were there, but yeah, we had a lot of the same hands on the same pot, so
yeah, I mean they're all.
help keep it cohesive and
Mhm.
all that good stuff.
We went down and worked on the record a couple different times. We kind of like broke it up to make it a little more affordable, basically. But all of the musicians that live in Nashville are obviously great, and you know, that's like their slow season. They're like, oh, well, we're not on tour all the time right now, so they just, you know, they do a lot of session work, and we got lucky that they wanted to come hang out with us. So yeah, it was
Very
cool.
cool. Yeah, very cool. I want to talk about the single "Thinking About My Baby." How did that come to fruition? Writing and putting it together.
Well,
It's actually
like,
pretty easy.
yeah, that was like, you know, songwriting's weird because sometimes it's like the easiest thing in the world, and sometimes it's like you just want to put your head through a wall because you can't write anything.
That
But
is,
that song in particular, I'm pretty sure Mac was like, I got an idea. Him and Danny, you know, jammed around, played around with it a little bit, and then I don't know, before we knew it, I was just singing words. I didn't even know what I was talking about. But yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, honestly, that's pretty much the way that it works for us.
yeah. I mean, we were like doing these like writing sessions to. This was, you know, in the months leading up to the first trip to go to see Dex, and yeah, I remember that because Mac just kind of brought a couple of these chords, you know, a chord progression over, and it was like in a 6/8 time signature, which was a little different than like, you know, it wasn't 4/4. So we just kind of like hashed out a little bit of the groove, and then Michaela just started singing the chorus.
Yeah.
We were like, "You have any lyrics?" And she just started singing it. And we were just kind of like, "All right, well, let's just. This is already sounds like it's finished." I mean, I personally just love the chorus, and Michaela in the recording sings so well and sells it. And
sure.
yeah, I think we did it. I think we tracked it in one take too, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly.
We were like, oh wow,
Yeah,
we're done.
the whole process of that song from writing it and recording it was just like just very smooth.
Yeah. Probably because we had it, you know, pretty much written and together when we got there.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
like one of the ones that were like, we think we wrote this whole song.
yeah.
That's good. So, is this indicative of what the LP will sound like? The
Um,
single.
I think so. I think there's some other tracks uh, on the record that are basically like, I mean, we have one that's like a sister song to Thinking About My Baby, and you know, sonically, obviously, it all kind of blends together. I mean, yeah, I would think so, right?
Yeah, I think it sets it up being the first single because it's, you know, it's not like bluesy, but it's rock. And then, but I think there's still a little bit of that hint of that underlying blues kind of tones in there, which, you know, definitely paves the way for the rest of the record. And all the songs that are like upbeat. And she mentioned the sister song that's kind of in there. But yeah, I think we have that and some other pretty little things that are on the B side that we also really enjoy. And yeah, I think it'll be. We're looking forward to seeing what people think.
Is the album complete now, or
Yep.
Yes. Yep.
it is? Okay. So when can we expect it?
Well,
I think we're looking towards
You
the
have
end of.
to you have to mix it and stuff like that still, and
no, it's all done.
Yeah, no, everything's done. Really, what is preventing us from saying a solid date right now is we're waiting on a vinyl return date. But even with that in mind, it'll be um, sometime at the very end of this year or very early next year.
cool.
But
Cool.
you know, but we'll have some singles kind of happening in the meantime, just to get some
Alright.
ears on this stuff.
You guys are a quintet, correct? 5-piece.
Yep.
So how do you stay? How do you put it all? How do you stay all together without? What's the chemistry like? Is what I'm asking.
Man, I
Too much fun.
we have way too much fun. Like,
It's amazing we even.
it's like, I know, it is actually crazy to get anything done. I think the fact that, like, I mean, Danny and Chris were like basically neighbors. Chris and John played in a band together in high school. Mac and Danny lived together in college. Like everybody was pretty much all friends before we got here. So I think we're really kind of lucky in that respect because I feel like there's plenty of people that are in bands and they love playing music, but they just end up having to work with people that they don't. I mean, our musicians are annoying. Like we're pretentious and like big egos and all that.
Oh,
But
of course, of course.
yeah, but we have way too much fun. Like I had them over, you know, I had them come over a couple weeks ago to try to get some pictures, get some content to like, you know, have some stuff to post for the record. Like, oh, we got some stuff, but I had to dig because there's always someone doing something really stupid or laughing too hard or like whatever, you know, but we have a great time.
Cool.
Yeah, we keep it pretty lively.
Awesome. So 2 more questions for you. You'll be touring the Northeast. Any other dates planned? Because you don't have that many dates planned as of yet. You have like five dates, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, not that many dates. Yeah, the touring thing, I mean, we haven't been running to do it. We really just want to get some music out and kind of let that settle onto the streets a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, you know, not really where the wind blows us, but see if there's anywhere that is kind of like, you know, making more sense than not. But we definitely are going to be trying to do more of that in 2025 for sure.
Cool. Are you guys coming to New York City?
We're going to Seacliff.
Well, the closest we'll be this summer is in Seacliff.
Right.
I think mid-July.
All right.
I've never been to Seacliff, but I've heard it's a beautiful city.
Cool. So I'm gonna shake my magic 8 ball right here, and you guys are gonna tell me a quick question. I'm gonna ask you a quick question. You're gonna give me a quick answer. What does the future hold for Mallow Hill? If this works.
Um,
Let's see what the April said.
Let's see what the 8 ball says first. It's not working properly. But anyways, what does the future hold for Mallow Hill?
I gotta get one of those things because I
I-
never know what to say.
I don't know. Hopefully, I think I can speak for both of us when I say that we definitely want to be doing music completely full time. I think we want to make, you know, I think we're ready to go back to Nashville and start making music right now. I think we want to keep making records and get on the road and just do it. You know, we want to do it. It's
Yeah.
there's a lot of trials and tribulations that get in the way sometimes, but
Sure.
you know, I don't think either of us really care that much. So
Yeah, I think, you know, doing this first record and meeting all those great people that we were lucky to work with is, I mean, for me, that's like the most rewarding part, like going and recording and writing and like getting better at all of it. I mean, I love playing live too. And when we play with our band, it's always like too much fun, like we were saying, but it's just so much fun to make a record.
it's like the most rewarding and like fulfilling, and
Yeah.
I feel like, I mean, that's like, I don't know, I feel like that's the only way you're really gonna learn anything about writing music is to like sit in a studio for a period of time and do it. So
Yeah, I think that's the most creative time for an artist, really.
Hmm.
You know, and you feed off the energy off the crowds too when you go on tour too. So